Okay, bienvenidos a Desde Cero. Welcome to Right from the Start. Our guest today is my friend, longtime friend, Janie Rodriguez. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, I finally got you on here, and you were brave enough to say, I'm going to go.
Yes.
So I appreciate you being here, and we're going to talk about what Janie Rodriguez has done all her life. So, but let's get to Desde Cero, right from the start. Where were you born, Janie?
Right here in Bryan, Texas.
Bryan, Texas, in 19...
in St. Joseph's Hospital. I think it was Boys School back then. No, it wasn't.
No, it was not. But well, let's get this going because we met in 6th grade. Is that correct?
Yes.
And we've been knowing each other for forever, and we kept up with each other's lives. And again, you've been a longtime friend, and now a friend, to all my family, and now my kids and my wife and all that. So you've always been a good friend and always good people. So, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So let's talk about your childhood. How was your childhood?
My childhood was fun. Well, we worked a lot. Our family always worked and worked. So we were taught to work from a young age.
But was your family always business owners?
Yes. A matter of fact, my mom and dad, my biological dad had a business downtown before I was even born. This was before, because I'm the last of all the kids. So I heard they had businesses downtown. So they've always been, even my biological dad and my dad.
Right.
So that raised me.
What kind of business was their first business?
My dad had a trucking, like a dirt, and my mom was a migrant worker. I'm sorry, let me rewind. My mom was a migrant worker, and my dad would be the ones that picked up all the people to work. And my mom was one of the ones he picked up.
Picked up but didn't drop off.
Picked up and forgot to take her back. No.
What year was that? Do you remember? Or do you remember them telling you about
it would have to be in the 50s, somewhere around 50s? There, yeah, because that's when she was around the age she was born.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
We have 6. There's 7, but 6 lived, and then now we're to 5. We have 5 now.
Can you name them all?
Yeah, in order: Manuel, and then Carolyn, Sally, Roy that passed, Cindy, and then myself. Okay. And then the very first one was another Manuel.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did he pass away?
Yes, was a baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And are you the youngest?
I'm the baby.
Wow.
A big baby. No.
And how was it growing? Did you grow up in Bryan? Since you were born here, did you always stay here?
Yes.
Or did you go anywhere else because of work or something?
No, I always stayed in Bryan. Now, a couple of my siblings did go to San Antonio and to Houston and Corpus. So we visited those places, but no, I've always been in Bryan.
You always stayed in Bryan. Okay. And how was it growing up here? Did you grow up in West Side? Or where did you grow up? What area did you grow up in?
Well, when I was born, we lived over there by Graham Drive, and then we moved to East Side, and that's where we were at the whole time.
The whole time. Okay.
But we get to school in Carver and stuff, so kind of got it.
Well, back in the day, there was only one school for each grade. Everybody went to Lamar if you were in Bryan, right? Unless you were in private school,
right?
But you went 5th grade Lamar, 6th grade Kim Carver. And of course, the smart ones went to Carver, and
me.
Well, that's where we met. We met at Carver, and then from there on, we always, stayed friends.
Right.
But how was it growing up with you being the youngest, right? And were you spoiled by your older siblings, or did they pick on you, or how was your childhood? I
think when you're the youngest, you're able to see their lives and just learn from it. You just sit back and just observe everything. And my brothers, they're all in business. So that's how I learned to be in business, because I watched them. And my mom had always told us, my mom always worked man jobs, like Alinco and, Babcocks and Wilcox. And she always told us, if you don't want to work like me, like a man, then get an education. And so when I saw my brothers in business and all that, I knew that that's what I wanted. I wanted to be in business. I wanted to be able to be something. But I didn't start off in hair, though. I didn't. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a lawyer and a judge. But my oldest brother, Manuel, was like, well, if you want to do that, why don't you go do your hair license so that way
Mm,
you can go to school and work here. That way you don't have to do fast food and all that. You'll just work at doing hair. But then I started doing hair and I liked it.
right. So
So
we missed out on Judge Janie,
yeah,
huh?
right.
How were your siblings helpful in you becoming a business owner?
By example, like they showed us like by example, and then just showing us like to work hard. If
Right.
you want something, you got to go for it. You can't just be scared. You got to do it.
Did you ever go to their businesses and kind of sit down and watch how they, I guess, uh, with customers, how they, talk to customers,
Yes.
or how to do books, or how to do orders or stuff like that? Did you ever go there as a young child and
I
witness stuff like that?
Yeah, I would observe my sister-in-law and my sister because they started their careers
Hmm.
before me. So I would see how they would deal with customers. And I remember watching my sister-in-law cut hair and she did a haircut like in 9 minutes. I was like, and I was barely in beauty school. And I was like, I started a haircut on Monday and wouldn't finish it till Friday.
Right.
And I said, I want to get as fast as she does. And now I'm fast.
Right. So did you start doing I guess hair classes or something in high school? What was it, cosmetology?
So I went along with my oldest brother to night school. At
Hmm.
that time, it was a Sebring night school, but it was too much with high school and all that because it was just too much to get it. So I stopped for a minute and then just finished high school
Right.
and then went straight into hair school.
How long did that take?
Back then, it was like 9 months
Right.
now, and then it went to a year, and now I think it's down again.
To 9 months.
Hmm.
Right. And we're going to talk about the new schools that are around town.
Yeah,
But back in the
lots.
day, I remember there was Charles. Was it Charles and Sue's?
Hmm.
Was that the only one, or was there
Well, there
other
was
options?
there was that one, and then there was what in high school, and then
Right.
Sebring.
Right.
That's
Cosmetology. High school. Could you get your license in high school back then?
you could.
If you went to 4 years,
Hmm.
probably. Okay. And how were your high school years?
My high school years were good. I mean, I've always been a good student,
Right.
but I mean, I've always been a good student, made my grades and stuff. I never had to get my grades checked. My mom would never check my grades. I'd be like, no, look at my grades 'cause I earned them. No, no.
Right. Yeah, because I don't recall us hanging out in high school though,
Mm-mm.
but we would always say hello,
Right.
right? And we were always we were always friends,
Hmm.
and you did your own thing, and at the time I had my own thing because by then I was already a musician,
Yeah, you're already
and
popular
I didn't go out with friends or anything. I was out gigging out of town all the time.
working.
Yeah, so I didn't get a chance to hang out with high school friends.
Mhm.
But uh, did you like take electives? What did you do in high school? Did you do with drama, acting? What did you do in
No,
high
I
school,
didn't do
Janie?
acting or drama, but I did do media tech. So I kind of did
Hmm.
stuff like this. At
Right.
that time, we had a radio station. So the music would play in the foyer area, the
I
outside
remember
part.
that.
Is that
Yeah.
what's called the foyer
Yeah.
area?
Yeah.
And so we would play music, a lot of Guns and Roses,
Right.
a lot of rock.
Right. I remember in was it ninth grade that we started high school back then? 10th grade.
Hmm.
We started Bryan High in 10th grade, and that was the last year that we had open campus,
Yes, you're right.
and we got a chance to leave school to go eat lunch.
Without skipping.
Right.
Yeah. Without skipping, right?
But yeah, that was 80, 88,
So do you
89.
remember at Carver where everybody would break dance?
I do.
Did you break dance?
We had our own crew.
Yeah.
We had our own crew down in West 28th Street, 28th Street breakdancers, I think it was. I don't know what they were called, but we were the breakdancers.
Hmm.
And
Everybody had a cardboard.
everybody had a cardboard. We carried it around, and we saw somebody breakdancing, so we'd challenge them,
Yeah.
and we would always get beat.
For real. So you weren't on the good group. No, no. No.
Yeah, but everybody did it, and it was fun.
Hmm.
That whole summer was fun, and it was right after fifth grade, I think.
Yeah.
Fifth grade growing into sixth grade,
Yeah.
that everybody was breakdancing, and La Fiesta Ballroom had contests,
Yes.
and you remember who won that contest?
The
Wasn't it?
breakdancing?
Yeah, wasn't it Ross Rodriguez and them?
I don't remember. I only remember like Crispin and them like
Yeah, I mean we
breakdancing.
all did
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I remember Crispin and I became friends in fifth grade.
Hmm.
That's when we started hanging out.
Where did you go to fifth grade at?
Lamar.
Oh, okay, I did.
Yeah.
Okay, that was just one place, right?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, but different hallways.
right, but in Lamar they had hallways.
Yeah.
They had the
Which hallway
100,
were you at?
200. I was in the first one, which is what?
The bad one.
No,
No,
it
yes,
wasn't.
it was because I was in
No,
the
it
smart
wasn't.
one.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Because in my hallway, I remember Sonia Garza?
Yeah.
She was in that hallway.
Oh yeah, she was the one smart person.
Yeah, that we
The
all knew.
quota.
Right. She was the smart one. So, but yeah, I mean, there were good times, and we didn't have distractions. We actually, talked to each other and hung out at the bus stop or
Hmm.
whatever, and no phones and nothing. And I think we enjoyed.
Yeah.
I remember enjoying our
Yeah, I don't
childhood.
remember us fighting or nothing like that
No.
either. Everybody pretty much got along.
Right. The only ones who ever fought was people who didn't know each other.
Right.
But as far as friends, I don't remember or I don't
Mhm.
recall fighting with any friends at the time. And that was fun.
Yeah,
That was
some
fun.
good years.
So did you graduate in 91 as well?
Yes.
Okay. And what do you do right after graduation? What do you do that summer?
Start school. I started school right
Immediately?
away. So that's why I've been doing hair for like 34 years now.
Wow.
So right after high school, I started. We graduated 34 years ago.
I know.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. 34 years. Look at Alex. Looking at us like we old.
Alex like, what the heck? He goes, that's older than 2 of my lifetimes.
Yeah. 34 years ago. So you go into class for or I guess what do you call it? Cosmetology
Mhm.
or hair design or what do you call the class?
Cosmetology.
Cosmetology.
Mhm. Or hair school if you're,
Hair school.
yeah, but the professional word is
Haircut.
hair hairdresser.
How was your time there? Was it hard? Was it demanding? How was your schooling?
I always had, it was fun for us because I always had friends. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Everywhere I've gone, I've met friends and stuff that I didn't want to do. I would make my friends do it and get credit for it.
Of course.
Like people's feet.
Yeah, I
I don't
remember
mess with
doing your
people's feet.
homework.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Everybody,
doing your homework.
even in high school. In high
But
school, like when there was like in science, when you had to dissect stuff,
yeah,
I was like, I'm not fixing to cut
we had
nothing.
to dissect a pig, a
Yes.
piglet.
So I would get the skater to be in our group.
Uh,
I was good at delegating. I'd get a
uh,
smart person, a skater that liked to cut stuff, and I just sit back and
right.
boss. No,
Of course.
guess I was a boss since then. No,
Back then, huh?
no.
But how was the cosmetology class? Like I said, was it demanding? Was it hard? Did you have to go every day?
Oh no, we
Every
went
other
every day.
day?
Yeah, we
Every
went every
day?
day, 9
Every
to
day?
5, and you had to do hair for free.
Yeah, I heard about that. They
Hmm.
would only charge a couple of bucks, but you guys would have to. Did you mess up anybody's hair? What was your worst experience at that school?
At hair school, nothing bad, but I did see some stuff happen down pretty bad.
By
Like,
others?
yes, I seen a girl cut a guy's hair like all the way up to his ears in the back, so he had no
Uh-huh.
neck. It was just all neck. But I
Uh,
never, and I always got like the good people, like because there was nothing but like elderly people, so I always got
mhm.
the ones that had like full heads of hair, or
Right.
3 hairs. So I always had good people.
Right.
I always told them, don't give me those people that want to be teased with big hair, because I ain't gonna do it.
Right. What's required for you to complete that course?
You have to do your hours and then course pay, and then you go take your test, your written test, and your
Is it by for the state?
uh-huh.
Hmm.
Yeah, then you get certified by the state.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how much does that cost? Back then in 92, 90, 91, 92, what was the cost back then
I think it was like
compared to today?
15 or 12, and I think now it's like 30,000.
30,000.
I think it's like 30,000.
Wow.
I mean, it changes because the hours change. So depending
Hmm.
on the hours that they're requiring, then depending what the school charges.
Wow.
And there's difference in schools. Like there's schools that are certified from the state, and then like they're in a different level. The other ones there's schools popping up everywhere. So
Right.
I don't know what the credentials are for them now.
Hmm. Well, and we're going to talk about this later on, but are you teaching as well?
I did get my instructor's license, but
Hmm.
the barber school that I was working at, he converted it to the other school, so I'm not needed right now.
Okay. Okay.
So,
But you're able to.
oh yeah. Hmm.
Okay. So when you finish your course and you get your certification and state license, What's your next step? Do you immediately open your business, or do you go work for somebody else?
Well, I went to work for my brother at the Mannery Mall,
Right.
the little kids
What was
shop.
it? Kids Cuts, or what was it
Kids
called?
Cuts.
Right.
And he was the only shop in the area that offered that type of shop. It
Hmm.
was like with kids chairs and stuff like that.
Right. I remember. Yeah, I remember all that. It was
So when he started, it was nothing but kids. And then as the business grew, we started adding like an adult chair,
right.
and then it came to like 4 chairs. So we just got busy and busy and busy.
How did your brother get involved in
Um,
barbering or haircutting?
well, my sister-in-law did hair. I'm not sure how they started, but I know that he started opening different shops and stuff like that and got busy. But because I was little then,
Hmm.
when she started, I was young. But I know that they were the ones that started the businesses.
Right. Right. And so you immediately go work for your brother. And how was that first? How was that first month? Did you immediately adapt to all the little kids running around and crying and or
That was
was it hard?
well, I always say we got trained at boot camp because it
Right.
was so many kids, so many people. And my
Uh,
sister can attest to this. I mean, we had people all over the place. Like while we're cutting hair, we had them running through. I mean, because the
right.
mall was booming back then.
It
The
was.
mall was not like it is now. The mall
Right.
was busy
It was a mall. It was like Post Oak Mall, but
with
it was
people.
smaller with
But with
people
people,
with people. And yeah, that was a popping place
it was.
back in the day with that little the middle circle, and that's
Hmm.
where we all hung out. And
Ice cream place, popcorn
right,
place.
and then Walmart. That was the first Walmart was
Yes.
there.
And
Uh,
so we would get all the people from Walmart, and
right
we were busy.
at the arcade, and then had the theater.
Hmm.
That's where I saw Batman at that theater.
I remember my brother, we would work from like 9 to 1 in the morning. He'd have to
Wow,
come unlock us out because we were just that many people.
really?
I mean, he catered a lot to the Hispanics,
Hmm.
so we had a lot of Hispanics that came through there.
Of
And we
course.
all travel in packs. You get one, you're gonna get like five.
Yeah.
So I mean, he catered to them, and so, then with the kids and stuff. And so when you start cutting a kid and then they like you, then the parents come.
Right, right. So would you say that that experience helped you, grow
Oh, definitely.
a little faster than you thought?
Oh, definitely. And I mean, my brother has always been a great example of that.
Hmm.
He taught us from day one, like how to treat people, and, you know, customers always right,
Right.
which I struggled a little bit with that one, but my sister would help me with that.
Did you ever have issues, people complaining or anything?
I had two people, and this was the most throwdown. And me and my sister laugh about it all the time because we did kids, right?
Right.
And there was a little kid that was crying, like didn't want to get a haircut. So the dad was like, cut it. And I was like, we're not gonna cut it. She's crying. So he grabbed the scissors from me and started cutting her hair. And then he throws the scissors down. He says, fix it. I said, hold up. And my sister saw we made eye contact and she's like, go, I get it. Because she already knew I was about to
Right,
get
blow
him.
up.
Get
Yeah.
him. No, but that was like she had to come in real quick and save the day because she
Right,
knew that I was about to unleash the beast.
right.
Because he just grabbed my sister, started cutting. Like, hello. And then it was a little girl. Her hair was all
Yeah,
chopped up.
yeah. So how long do you work at this kids cut place?
I think I was there for 6 years,
Hmm.
and then I got my shop.
Right.
Yeah.
What I guess what gave you the confidence to say, I'm gonna open up my own shop, or did your brothers actually help you and push you in that direction?
What happened? My sister was leaving to Germany, and she was working at that shop
Hmm.
already. I wasn't planning on getting a shop.
Okay. The
She was
opportunity
right.
was
She
there.
was leaving to Germany. She's like, "Hey, do you want to come over here? Because I'm gonna leave, and my customers are here." And I was like, I didn't know. I just prayed. I said, if it's your will for it to happen, it'll happen. And God just made a way for us to go over there. And
Hmm.
then I was just working a little corner in a little
Right.
side area. Didn't even have a booth yet. And the lady lets me get a booth. And then she approached me like 3 months later and she's like, that she has to close because for some reason everybody started moving around. And so she was gonna sell it to these other people. And I was like, God, you moved me over here just to leave again? Like what happened?
Right.
But then she offered it to them. And of course I didn't have the money because I was just 25.
Hmm.
I didn't have the money to put down in the shop. And I said, God, whatever your will is, if it's your will for me to get it, then I'll get it. And we just left it like that. And then she came in and she wanted this certain amount. I didn't have it. And I say, she goes, well, to make up the price difference, I'll just come pick up this stuff. And I thought, okay, she's fixing to take up everything, like
Right.
equipment wise,
Right.
She ended up taking like a trash can and a little table. And I got the business like for nothing.
Wow.
But my brother Manuel has always told us that if you want a business, always do it your first year by yourself. Because
Mm.
that way, if everybody gets up and leave, you know that you can
Right.
have the business. So the first year I didn't have nobody there. It was
Right.
just me by myself in the whole shop.
How was that experience? Was it scary for you, or I mean, was this the only means of income that you had at the
Yes.
time?
It was scary because I was young. I was 25 and I learned a lot. I
Hmm.
learned that you just don't trust everybody. I
Right.
remember paying my first contractor to come paint and fix. I paid him before he did it
Right.
and he didn't finish the job. So I was left by myself. And I remember like scraping the floor with a razor and I told her, I said, you said you would never leave me and forsake me. What happened? And
Uh,
at that time, the phone rings out of nowhere. And my nephew calls me that hardly ever calls me. And he's like, and Jenny, I just want to tell you I'm proud of you. And I was like, oh man, that was God
right.
sending that message.
Right.
And I just did it. I mean, you just kind of wipe yourself off and keep going.
Now, at 25, did you have your son already by this time?
My
At what age do you have Chris? Right.
yeah. So Chris was probably a 91. Yeah, he was already a little kid. And that was another hustle. That was
Right.
another reason why I hustled because, I had a son to support and I was a
Right.
single
So
mom.
what year was Chris born?
And he was born in 94. So
94.
3 years after we
Okay.
graduated.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about
Yeah.
that. Because if I recall, you were a single mom
Hmm.
the whole time.
Yeah.
How was your experience? Raising Chris on your own and running a business and building a business at the same time.
Well, he was raised at the shop because he would always be at the shop with
Right.
me, and then when he got a certain age and it was tough because we spent hours and hours
Hmm.
there. So
Right.
I remember we were getting off one day and we went to McDonald's across the street and he was like, because he spent so much time at the shop, he goes, Mom, I wish you would have a cool job. And I was like, what? He goes, like, work at McDonald's because they had all the toys there. And I was like, McDonald's. But because he was a
Uh,
kid, he thought like he was part of my job. So he's like, if she worked at McDonald's, then I could play all day.
right. Right.
But yeah, he had his own room there at the shop and he spent hours and hours there.
Yeah, because I remember I was, you were my stylist,
Hmm.
because back in the day we had the fluff and
Yes, yes.
we
The
had the
Tigres del Norte.
yeah, we had the band, we had the we had to look like band members. But I always remember seeing Chris there and playing around and I have to say that you did a good job because every time I see him, then he's a well mannered person.
Yes.
You know.
And now he's doing hair.
Yeah, I heard. My
Yeah.
wife told me
Yeah.
that he's doing hair now. Um, so I guess after this, do you stay in the same spot and do you start hiring employees
So,
once you say I got this, let me start growing.
right.
When was that? When did that happen?
So like after a year, I'm telling you, God was in the midst of everything. Because after a
Hmm.
year, this girl comes and asks if she can start working, and so she comes in and she starts working. But she starts bringing the people in. So then I start having people be the booth rental people,
Hmm.
and the shop gets full.
Right.
So now I have the shop full of people renting booths, and I didn't
Right.
even have to recruit them. They
Right.
recruited each other, and I was there
Right.
for years. Yeah.
Yeah. You were in the same spot I think on Via Maria
Mm-hmm.
for a while.
Yes.
But in your store, I guess in your shop, you also sold
Mhm.
products and other items.
Yes.
So that's you were growing as a businesswoman,
Right.
right? When do you decide to say, hey, let me throw in a little bit more to the business, and did that work for you?
It did because I started selling like the fashion jewelry,
Right.
like, and that's popular right now too. I
Hmm.
mean, but it was one of we had it set up like a little
Right.
boutique and they would come purchase that. And I was like, well, you're always in a business, you're always looking for growth, all kinds of ways.
Hmm.
And so, that extra income just helps cover whatever expenses that happen
Right.
having your own business.
Right. And at this point, Janie, it's maybe 99, 2000,
Hmm.
right? Because in 98 you were 25.
Yeah.
Correct. I know
Right.
because
Right.
that's
Right. Right. Okay.
We're the same age, pretty
Right.
much. I think you're older, but
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
uh, but when do you feel that you're financially stable off your business? Because I hear it takes a few years for you to start
Well, I think
bringing in.
after about 5 years of being on my own,
Hmm.
then I was stable. I
Right,
was good, and then so I mean we were in a good place, me and Chris at that time,
right. And at this time you were still a single mom, and you never, you decided to stay by yourself and build your business, because I think for you your business was very important for you,
Yes.
and for Chris,
Hmm.
and you decided to say, you know what, I'm just going to focus on me and focus on my my family, and grow the business. Was
Right.
that the case?
Yeah, that was pretty much just kept us busy with for him. I wanted to make sure that I could provide for him and take care of him.
Right. So what happens after the shop that you were on Via Maria? When do you move into another shop? And was it because of growth, or was it because other reasons? And
Well,
where do you move to? Because I don't remember seeing where you moved to from there.
so the second shop I get is on Tejas Cuts.
Tejas, that's
Yeah, on
right.
that
That's right.
over there, and
Well, what was your business called?
the one on Villamere was called Stalin Emporium,
Styling and Pouring.
and
That's
then the
right.
one on Tex Avenue was called Tejas Cuts.
Tejas, got it. That's
But
right.
a couple approached me about it. They
Hmm.
wanted someone to take over that was in business, and that because it was already established.
Okay.
But they wanted me to take over it because they just heard that I had my own shop. That type of shop was different. The shop at Stallion Point was more booth rental, so like everybody did their thing and paid their rent.
Hmm.
On the one on Tejas Cuts was more like they worked hourly. So it was a little bit different for me because I was still behind the chair. So
Hmm.
I was still working behind the chair and then having to see what was going on over here.
All right.
But I did it because I was getting older and I wanted to know, like, career wise, like, is this something that I would want later on? Do I want to have a shop where they work for me and I just sit back?
Right.
Or did I want to, what was it? Was I going to continue it? And so it was a good experience. It was, I think styling porn was best for me, but
Hmm.
I don't regret doing that one because it taught me, like, was I going to be in that level where I wanted people working for me
Right.
hourly or whatever. And then when you have a shop like that, you learn real quick that um not everybody does quality work. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
there's a lot of people just try to get you out. They don't try to do, and my name was on it. So I
Right.
wanted to make
Right.
sure the work was good, and I think that was a hard for me because when I was doing people and I was like, they're not walking out the door like that. Bring them back, fix it. And they were like, what? Because you're not going to do that. You're not just going to let someone walk out the door
Did
not looking right,
Yeah, did you ever, I mean, what was the worst that you saw? You're like, come back.
Well, I mean, I can like back then, I mean, I was young, so I
Yeah,
could see like, and I was like, no, we're not gonna have that. Like you're not gonna do this kind of work like you've
right,
done in the past. But like I said, it was a business already.
right,
So they didn't really have someone watching them. So people could leave whatever they
right,
wanted. And I get it, you're paying a cheaper price, but just because you're paying cheaper prices, I mean, you don't do quality work,
right, right.
and that's just, I don't know. I'd always been that type of
Yeah,
person. I guess I learned it from my family. Like, you're going
right,
to do something, do it right or don't do it at all.
right. Did you ever have to let somebody go because they never caught on?
Um, that and then just dip it in the box like they're not supposed to,
Hmm.
like, you learn real quick how people
Right,
don't have integrity.
right. Back in the day, it was a lot of cash instead of card, right?
Right.
And
Exactly.
yeah, it was all cash pretty
Mm-hmm.
much.
Yeah. So a lot of people like to dip. And you probably used to dip, but not with me there.
Right, right.
Not on my watch. No.
Right. So did you feel at this time that your business kept growing, or did you still have to kind of work harder and harder each year so you can keep up with not only that but other businesses as well growing?
At that point, I think like I did have to work hard, but I've always been, even though I had a couple of people here and there,
Right.
but like people that followed me like from the shop, they've
Right.
always been great. So I always had good people
Right.
under me, with me. Like, Jessica Luna, my sister, there was always Mo and Vern worked for me. Um, I always had good people that worked under me. So I never had to worry about that. It was until I went to the other shop where there was a different they were under different management, so
Hmm.
they were used to a different way. But yeah, you definitely have to constantly be growing your business, going to classes, going to shows to upgrade your skills.
Right, right. Did anybody that worked for you end up opening up their own shop, and did you encourage them? And did you
Oh,
help them out?
several people. I mean, we had at that time Mo and Vern worked for me. They opened their shop. Elaine Villarreal and Rose opened their shop. And there was a lot of people that opened their shop that
Hmm.
end up, you know,
Doing well.
yeah, I mean, that was good. That at the time you probably don't understand it because you're like, what? Everybody's leaving. But then you realize that that's a reflection
Right,
of you. I mean, that's just how life is. They learn from them and you go and like my brother has always said, there's plenty for everybody.
right,
You
right,
don't have to scrape or fight or
right,
tear each other down. And that's one thing we never did. Like you never would see me talk about somebody else's haircut or
right,
somebody's like if somebody leaves and comes back and they're like, look what they did. I'm like, oh no, it's not too bad because you don't ever knock somebody else.
right,
Because in good business, you just don't do that.
right,
And there's plenty for everybody. There's no reason to tear each other down if there's plenty for everybody.
right. And I think at this point you had a lot of clientele.
A
You
lot.
you already had your customers and repeat business, and I was one of them for a long time until you started going on vacation a lot.
Stop. I need a vacations.
Like every other week is like, hey, you gonna be there? No, I'm going on vacation.
Well, no, and it's true. Like a lot of my business, I've been very blessed with that because I've cut like, their parents.
Right.
Then the kids grow up and now I'm
Hmm.
cutting their kids and now their kids. So it's like
Right.
that's a lot of people that I've
Well, same
cut.
with, I mean, same with my boys, except
Yeah.
for this last time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We're gonna talk about him cheating on me right now. No, yes.
Right. Right. Uh, so we're talking about maybe the 2000s. Uh, when do you start having more family?
So probably around about 2000, yeah, well, 2007,
Hmm.
I get married and then I have my other two sons.
Right. Was it two, or I thought you had three more?
No,
It was two.
I have three sons total.
Right. Right.
Chris
Chris
and
was
then two
one,
little
right?
ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how old are they now?
The John David's in high school, 12th
Wow.
grader, and the other one's a 10th grader at
Hmm.
Rudder. Yeah.
Okay. And was it different now that you had a stable business, and you were already financially set? Well, uh, because I know because of what you drive.
Stop it. No, not no more.
But was it less stress having more children at that time? Now you
I
you were
don't.
able to have more, not free time, but more able to schedule your days better.
Well, and that's what when I started doing hair at kids cuts, it was
Hmm.
more like a walk-in type.
Right.
But then as I went to styling Pro, I was still walking. Then I started having the two boys, and so couldn't work as much as
Wow.
I needed to. So then you had to schedule.
Hmm.
And so a lot of, and even at that, my career changed because when I first started doing hair, probably like 85% was male. I did
Hmm.
like 85% of my clients were male. But now the way it's transition is it's the opposite. I do a lot of women, but also have more experience in color and highlights and
Right.
everything. So it's just funny how your career transitions as it evolves. So back to like I probably work less,
But make more.
probably.
Right. Right. Because you do a lot of what we call like private sessions or
Right.
whatever, right?
Appointments, yeah.
Appointments, and then you schedule these, and you already know how long it's going to take,
Right.
what the cost is going to be. So you're able to kind of schedule maybe a Sunday, maybe a Saturday, maybe Friday evening, Friday morning. So it's not, you're there waiting anymore.
Right.
You're actually there already ready to work.
Right.
Right.
And that's the thing that you have to learn when you start doing hair. Like even with my own son, he was like, "Man, mom, I want your schedule. Like you don't work this." I said, "No,
Right.
I pay the dues. Like I would work from sun in to sundown." I said, "Now I'm at that where I can be selective. Where
Right.
I only
Right.
work 3 days a week and still have that freedom to go see my kids play and stuff like that."
Right.
But was it easier having two kids? No, it wasn't easier because the two kids were little and
Hmm.
they were raised in the shop too. So they grew up
Hmm.
in the shops knowing that, hey, just like we did, that's
Right.
how my parents were. That's how we were with Manuel. Like when Manuel had his businesses, we all grew up in the business.
Right.
So, when you grow up like that, you, as a kid, where other kids can go do stuff, you're over there
Hmm.
in the business working, busting
Right.
tables, washing dishes. Cause like my brother had a restaurant and, daycare, and we all worked there. Everybody worked
Right.
and they did too. Like my kids to this day. Like, my clients always make the comment. They're like, man, your boys, they already know. Because if I'm working and they happen to walk in and they see hair, they
You
don't
sweep.
say,
Right.
Mom, do you want me to sweep? They just sweep.
Mm-hmm.
They get the job done because they know how important it is the
Right.
business is.
Yeah. So where are you at now, Janie? At
So
what
right
point?
now I rent a booth out for Lonell's at Lonell's
Mm-hmm.
Barbershop. Like I said, I only work 3 days a week, but I'm still twiddling with the idea of opening another shop. I'm in that right now. Like, do you want to
Right.
open a shop? But I'm also a grandma now. No, I'm a grandma honey now. So I mean, and I have my kids still. So
Right.
that if I did open a shop, then I would have to dedicate more than 3 days that I'm
Right.
doing now.
Right. How many grandkids do you have now?
Two
Is it two?
girls, two little
Right.
girls.
Chris's babies, right?
Chris has two little girls with his
How
wife.
does that feel to be a grandma? I'm not a grandpa.
Oh man, that's a different experience. Like people would say it all the time. My clients would say like it's different, it's different. I mean, everybody that knows me knows how tight I am with my boys.
Right.
Like me and my boys are tight, but the girls are different. And I don't know if it's because they're girls and I never had girls,
Mm-hmm.
but that's a different level right there. It's a different love.
Happy.
Happy, yeah.
Right.
Put some act right in it before they even were born.
Right.
Because you can, I think like when you become a grandma, I mean, not that you shouldn't do when you're a parent, but like when you're a grandma, I think like you should be at a different level already in your
Right.
life. More seasoned, more different.
So what happens from here, Janie? What do you do? What do you want to do after all that you've done so far? Because I think we still have plenty of time. What do you plan on doing?
I love doing hair. Like, I mean, I have one of those jobs that, I hear people all the time that, oh, they dread going to work. And I
Right.
just don't get that. Like when I go to work, it's like a relaxing time for me. Like it's like therapy for me when I go to work. I
Right.
love my clients, like, and the clients that I have now, it's like I meet new clients all the time, and they become friends too. But like my clients are like they're clients, but they're friends, they're family. Like we're tight. I'm gonna do hair I'm gonna do hair until I'm not good anymore. Like if I feel like I'm glitching, then
Right.
I can pull out.
If you cut somebody's ear, then
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's a big sign.
No,
Right?
or if I know that I'm not where I need to be,
Right. Right.
because the quality that you, and I think like, I don't know how you are, but I feel like sometimes we're our biggest critic.
Yeah.
And
All
I
the
think
time.
like, when you know that there's a standard that you've upheld in
Yeah.
your career, you want to keep that same
Right.
standard,
Right. Well, I guess let's switch it up a little bit, Janie.
Okay.
Let's talk about your family.
Okay.
Let's talk about Roy because he also was a business owner, right?
Right.
And he owned what, tire shops?
Yes.
So did your dad, right?
Yeah. My dad still has one now.
Has one now, and it's Rodriguez Tire.
Rodriguez Tire. Yeah.
Right, and there's two of them now.
There's three.
There's three, one in Hearn,
Right.
correct?
Mm-hmm.
When does your brother? I guess your brother start the tire business. Was that his first business, or do you have multiple businesses?
The first one was I believe on Martin Luther King.
Right.
He had his first one there, and I'm not sure the years, but we were little. Roy was always just like Mayor, just a hustler, just always working, always doing stuff. Always he was an AC guy. He was all kinds. He was
Right.
he had multiple trades.
Right.
Hmm.
And now your nephew runs the shop,
Right.
correct?
Two of my nephews run. One of them runs the one in Bryan's, the big one, and the other nephew runs the one in Hearn.
Right.
And then my dad runs the other
And
one.
tell me their names.
Ray
Ray.
runs the one in Hearn,
Mhm.
and then Roy runs the one
Right.
here,
Right.
and then my mom and dad run the little one.
Right. And they I want to say thank you to them because they always sponsor my boxing shows.
Oh, nice.
So I still have I think I gave them banners every time they would sponsor me. They would
Yeah,
keep
they
a
love
banner,
boxing.
and they would always support me. And I want to thank them and Tire Rodriguez, or Rodriguez Tire Shop for always supporting our boxing club
Mhm.
and helping out. They helped out a lot of kids.
Awesome.
So I want to thank them and the Rodriguez family. Um,
Do you remember Roy at Carver with the lowriders?
Everybody remembers the lowriders because I think that was the only lowrider club in town.
Right.
I think that's an airplane.
Okay. This is my jet. My jet's about to pick me up. That's how big I am now.
Yeah. So, huh?
I'm going on vacation. Gotta
Yeah, you're
go.
going on vacation again, right? Yeah. So there it is. That rarely happens, but yeah. So yeah, I remember the lowrider. What was the club called?
La Compañía.
La Compañía Car Club. La Compañía Car Club. I
Uh,
remember them, and they, uh, there was some nice cars back in the day, and it's a shame that do they still have? I don't think they still have it, right?
no, they still have
They
it.
still have it,
Ray, I think Ray and along with Roy run that one now. They bring them out occasionally. It's
really?
not as big as it was when Roy had it, you know.
Right, right,
But I remember when we were in school and everybody was into lowrider
right.
magazines, and I'd be like, "Come pick
Yeah.
me up," and he'd be in high school late picking me up, and I was like, "Forget it now. Everybody already left. I don't want it." He'd like, "I'm sorry, sis. I'm sorry. I'll get you." So the next time he'd come and pick me up on time because he knew I'd be mad at him.
Right, right. And they would do the parade, and
Hmm.
it was always exciting to see those cars because we always just saw them on magazines, like you
Right.
said, Lowrider magazine, and then we would see them in person. It was pretty awesome, and they had quite a few lowrider shows back in the day. But
Hmm.
again, I was never here on weekends,
Right.
so,
And
so
I
I never,
wasn't allowed.
so
My
I,
dad never let us get around
so I
them.
never
So,
got to. And let's see if we can talk about this because I know you were worried about it, but your nephews,
mhm.
big stars,
Yeah.
superstars,
Yeah. Roy's kids.
Roy's kids, Rainey and
Rico.
Rico Rodriguez.
Hmm.
What do you remember about their start and how they became who they are now?
I
When,
just,
when did you first hear about them? Hey, my kids are going to Hollywood.
they were little. I think Rico
Right,
was probably like 8, maybe I don't remember the age. They were little. I just remember like Roy telling us, "Hey, Rainy, Rico about," or at that time it was Rainy. Rainey's about to come out. So we would
right,
all rush to the house to see her in a show. And then for like seconds, we would
right,
all be there waiting for her to come out. And then she started. And then I think Rico saw like her meeting different people. And he told my brother, like, I want to get into it. So
right.
my brother was like, okay.
But where did they get their start? Did they audition? Do you remember if they had to audition in some kind of workshop or factory or anything like that?
So Nikki Peterson, she's here now, but I think at
Hmm.
the time she was in Houston, she had an agency, and Rainey went to under her
Hmm.
stuff, and then they went to New York, and Rainey competed, and then everybody wanted Rainey because
Wow.
she was just really smart at. She was young and just had the lines, like she just had that memory to go with it. So they
Right.
all, wanted her. And then that's when my brother had to make the decision, like, well, they told my brother, like, if you're serious about it, that they have to move.
Hmm.
And my brother was like, but he had the businesses here. So they moved and, they were real blessed because my brother had business to support him because a lot of people that go over there, they don't have that financial
Right. That
support.
backup.
Right.
Right.
And my brother was able to provide that for them, my brother and his wife, So they did good. I mean, they took off pretty well.
Yeah, they did.
And
They
they
did.
took off so well. I always laugh. I always say they're like SpongeBob. They're on TV all the time. So then they
Right.
get on TV and it's like they're there all the time.
Right.
We didn't have to run like we used to, Before we'd have to run just to see those little 2 seconds of,
Right.
and now it's just amazing how they've taken off on it.
Right. And I think they put Bryan College Station on the map.
They did.
And that's we're all proud of them. You
Yes.
know, and it's always awesome to run into them, and my kids have gotten autographs, and they've always been good people, and very nice to everybody that I think
Right.
we saw them at Ramon Ayala one time, and we took a picture with them. So
Oh, yeah. No,
uh,
she
the,
would do that for me too. Like I had
right.
a lot of kids that loved her because she was on Austin and
Hmm.
Allie and my brother. She's I say, "Hey, the kids are asking for her." And he'd be like, "Okay, we're gonna be there in this time." So I would text my clients like she's
Okay.
coming. So she'd go to the shop and sign their autographs, take
Right.
pictures, and they loved it. Like
Right.
it's another kid seeing another kid, it was they love that Austin and Niley show.
Right. Right. Um. So, do you think that what you're doing now at your business, Janie? Do you think that you're gonna want to grow, or you're happy where you're at, and say, you know what, let me just ride it out the rest of time.
That's it, because we're at that
Yeah.
right age, right?
Right.
What do we do, right?
What do we do?
That's the decision that I'm praying about right now too. Is like, do I want to venture into another shop or because I got Chris that cuts hair, and then my little
Hmm.
one's learning to cut hair. It's in high
Right.
school. So I mean, if we decided to open a shop, it'd be their time to shine. Of course, I
Right.
would back them up,
Right.
but it's a decision that we'd have to sit down and see what they wanted to
Right,
do.
and I think it's called barbering. It's male
Uh-huh.
stylists. It's growing.
Mhm.
I've had two on my podcast,
Oh, cool.
and they have good businesses, and they're also both good people.
Yes.
And I think it's a growing
Industry,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a growing industry. So and who else better to have in their corner than their mom Janie,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
And back them up and say, I won't charge you.
That right. I won't get my little 10% from y'all. Nah, nah.
uh, but that's awesome. You mentioned a lot about praying for situations and stuff. How much do you believe in God?
100%.
100%.
I think like
Do you think that kept you going? Do you think your faith
oh yeah,
kept you
definitely.
going?
Definitely. I think my faith and just believing in God and what he's done and how he's guided every decision, even when I didn't want to listen, he's the one that keeps me
Mm,
lined up.
right.
Because I mean, there's in business especially, you don't, like I said, when I first started, I lacked the experience of it. So, it was him that, just gives me that motivation to keep going and say, I got you. I never left you.
Right.
And I think that's a key to the thing. And I think like when you give him the honor that he deserves and the glory,
Right.
then he shines.
Yeah.
Definitely the faith has grown, even in my personal life with my mom and stuff. My mom's 88 years old
Right.
and has lived a life that, she's medically, she doesn't look like, but you look at her and she's a rock star. But I think her faith, along with just having a lot of faith in God that's taking care of her,
Right.
that she trusts in him and everything.
Right.
And she's instilled that on us.
Right. And that's what I was about to ask you that. Did your parents, you know,
Well,
give you?
like my sister that actually is just the pastor wife,
Hmm.
she needs to come. She can have interview her too. But
Okay.
she they all need to come, my brother and my sister, all of them. No, but my sister Cindy, she's a very strong woman in faith,
Hmm.
and along with my brother-in-law. And I think like they've just always been that spiritual guidance, and helped us. We've been serving the Lord for a while, and
Right.
just it's important. It's important to train your kids like that too, to give kids the word.
Right.
The Bible
Right.
says, train up a child the way of the Lord,
Yeah.
they'll never depart. And they need that because there's no guarantee that we'll be here.
Right. Right.
We hope that we could live long enough to see them as adults, but we don't know. So you have to leave them with something.
Right.
And money's good, but if not handled the right way, what are they going to do with it?
Right.
You got to teach them that there's somebody that's higher than them,
Yeah.
that will guide them in those times where they need somebody.
Yeah. Well, I know if I would have lost my faith in that moment that I went through, I don't think I would have pulled through. So,
No,
I think my faith helped me be where I'm at today.
definitely.
So, well, Jenny, anything else you want to add to the podcast before we go?
No, that's it. I mean, other
Uh,
than, you got anything else for me to add? That's it.
What's your favorite movie, Janie, of all time?
Movie. I like them all. Anything with Mark Wahlberg in it.
Oh, okay.
That's my boy.
Who's your favorite band of all time?
Band? Rock or Mexican?
Anything. Let's go Mexican.
Okay, so I don't know what happened to our generation, but like I used to like George Michael,
Hmm.
but then he flipped the script. So I was like, okay. And then I used to like La Mafia, and then I realized he flipped the script. So I'm like, what is going on with these people? I thought they were singing to me this whole time, but apparently they
Right,
weren't.
they
No,
weren't.
but I like all bands. I like
Yeah.
a lot of variety of music, and I'm still
Yeah.
like that. That's the thing that I like with my kids too. They're boys, and they're like, "Mom, you want to take a ride?" And when that means they want to listen to some music,
Right.
so we just jam out riding around, and I think that's important.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, again, you want to tell your send shout outs or anything?
I
What's
just
what's 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 your message for the people in our community, Janie?
always put God first in everything,
Awesome.
especially the times we're in right now.
Right.
Right now it's not about right, left, or whatever. It's about you better be right when
Right.
he comes. And that's the only team we got to be on.
Right.
And that's the message I give
Right.
is
And let's be good to each other. How's that?
respect, respect.
Let's be good to each other.
Yes.
Well, Janie, thank you for coming on the podcast. You
Yes.
see
Thanks
how
for
easy
having.
that was?
Yeah, I was real scared. I was real scared.
And well, again, thank you for being on the podcast. And you want to send shout outs to anybody?
Shout out to my family, my kids, my mom and dad, my sisters, brothers, everybody, my clients, my
Yeah, your
friends.
clients.
Yeah.
Keep coming.
Yes.
And hold on. Oh, what'd you push? Oh, never
It's like,
mind. Okay. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and please subscribe to Desde Cero. I know Janie's going to bring a lot of new viewers to the podcast. So
Yes.
again, thank you for being here. Please subscribe to the channel, and we see you guys next time. Thank you, Janie. Say bye.
Bye.
See ya. Go see Janie for her haircut
Yes.
stuff.
Right.